Dire team ban. Vega squadrons turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Vega squadrons turn to pick. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dark Seer.
Shadow Fiend.
Vega squadrons turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Queen of Pain.
Vega squadrons turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Vega squadrons turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban.
Dusk.
Vega squadrons turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dazzle.
Dire team pick. 10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Witch Doctor!
Vega Squadron's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Winter Wyvern.
Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. Vega Squadron's turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. Dire team pick.
Slaughter.
Vega Squadron's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds
Slark.
remaining.
I'm Mike Loris, going to be joined by More Rage, please, and hopefully everything is going to sound and look okay for everyone. We're in the lower bracket finals. Winner of this is going to be facing up against Empire, sitting nice and comfortably waiting for their opponent in an eventual best of 5. Should be happening right after this best of 3 is completed. Sevi, I think you have some pretty strong opinions on Slark. Why don't you fill us in there?
Poop hero. Very, very poop hero. Especially with amp damage on the other side. Of course, you can purge it off, but they have enough CC to layer with the Tusk, the Darkseer, and the Slardar, and I feel like it's really not a very good matchup for him. Of course, Slardar pick into the Winter Wyvern, not the greatest either.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan of the Slaughter in general. I do think like with the Shadow Fiend, you kind of do need either a hero that can keep, dedicated hero to keep Shadow Fiend alive, of which 4 Clovers don't really have. Like they have defensive tools and the Snowball and the Surge, but they don't really have that hero. Well, like Vega supports, look at the Dazzle, look at the Winter Wyvern, like those are kind of what you would like to have with the Shadow Fiend. But that being said, Slaughter does give you more offensive power. So why do you need to keep your Shadow Fiend alive if your Shadow Fiend is just gonna kill everyone?
For all you Dota 2 Lounge fiends, I got a quick bet for everyone. Over under on how many fights Saxa completely saves and turns with the Snowball. I'm gonna say 2.5.
2.5.
And I'm gonna take the over.
How does he save half a fight?
Well, it's just to ensure that 2 is under and 3 is over. That's how odds work.
Yeah, I don't know shit about that. I just say it, and I just have like a zero understanding of that. By the way, let's introduce these players. Let's see who's going to be playing what. Because for Vega, they're going to put Mag on the top lane for Doom. It's going to be a very heavy poking lane for him. Probably not going to prevent Slaughter if he is going to go up there from getting any farm. No one is on the Queen of Pain. Pasha is on the Slark. Got Solos, Dazzle, and Sioma's Winter Wyvern. Get that pronunciation perfect,
yes, we were
sure.
Instructed by local Russians on how to say that. So, up on their side, 4 Clovers, looking really good in the group stage. A little shaky thus far in the playoffs, though. Pycat's going to pick up that 1 position. Shadow Fiend in towards the mid lane. Nikwa going to be on his Darkseer. He's played really well.
He's going to not grab the bounty room, and now the Snowball's going to come right in, taking a lot of damage. However, there is a heal. There's a cast going to be bouncing through to negate that heal. Sioma's going to fall. First blood drawn by Pycat, and he gets his souls. Whoa, so shit. Smart. This is suddenly a terrible lane for Vega.
So smart. Yeah, I noticed he didn't raise there, and I looked at his skill build. So very well played overall. And EGM, he's going to be picking up that Witch Doctor alongside his Shadow Fiend towards the mid lane. Saxa on his Tusk. He's excellent on this hero. Nico on the Darkseer, as aforementioned. And Bambo picking up one of his signature heroes as well on the Slardar. So very comfort heroes thus far. Wow, no one getting right-clicked almost to death mid lane.
Feels bad, man. Okay, so we were already talking before how the defensive supports, we've seen a lot of Bane, sitting in mid lane, trying to provide that little bit of poking power towards that mid laner. Both sides not really super strong. I feel like at this point when you have, by default, 12 souls, you don't really need that much help as a Shadow Fiend. Like, the matchup otherwise is pretty mediocre, but this is making it a lot better. Oh, Saxa down towards bottom lane. He's going to snowball away to the creep. Centaurs are kind of angry. Nikwa is here with Ion Shell damage in solo. He's going to take a... Oh, well, okay, never mind. And no one's going to take that much damage, but everyone's going to be fine. Mag up towards top lane. He's going to get crushed. Right clicks from EGM should not be enough. The one Scorched Earth, not super imba, but it is enough to keep him alive.
Yeah, we were discussing in the draft at least how neither team really has a super scary dual lane mid, so it's not too surprising to see this. Wow, no one, speaking of which, just take 2 raises to the face. He's got no regen left, but does have a salve coming out. Gonna allow him to stay in lane for now, but 200 gold already here as a couple of waves in, looking a little bit rough in the mid lane. And Vega, for their side, no one has really been kind of the linchpin, and he's been what they go off. I mean, when no one has a great game, they tend to win. So it's scary beginning for them.
I mean, bottom lane, Pasha is getting quite a bit of farm and really doesn't have to worry about dying in this lane. Yes, Surge, Ion Shell maybe is going to be enough to kill him. But yeah, I was going to say, like, this bottom lane for the Vega side, the only real thing that they're lacking, I mean, they have defensive power up the wazoo, but the only thing they're lacking is really good setup for the pounce. But if you land a pounce anyway, Nico can take a lot of damage. He's going to surge himself out, so he's probably not going to die here. But still, it's very, very little committed from Vega. But here comes a snowball. Suddenly, Slark is going to get 100 to 0 from however much he started out with. Of course, Saxa is going to swoop in and grab that kill. Slark definitely did not see that one coming and really failed to lose tower aggro as quickly as he really needed to.
To quote Winter, Tusk is a hero in Dota 2, and Saxa is certainly a very capable player on that one. They are going to bring Solo over to the mid lane on the Dazzle to try and allow no one to catch up here, but Highcat is already sitting pretty. 13 CS, 7 denies up against this Queen of Pain.
You make that point about when no one does well in Vega, then Vega tend to do that much better. Highcat is really the hero that is going to make or break 4Clover's game. If he gets picked off 2 or 3 times, it doesn't seem like that's super likely given the supports and given the overall cast on Vega. And 4Clovers are almost just completely boned right now. There's not much the other heroes can do to make up for this lack of damage should Highcat fall behind, but he's just got himself like an absolute huge gift in those souls, and he's just not going to let go of this lane. He's now doubling up the Queen of Pain CS, which you really wouldn't expect from this matchup. You'd expect Shadow Fiend to be doing well, like not getting crushed, but this is Shadow Fiend crushing, and that is a real rarity.
Yeah, I mean, the one thing that's really beneficial is that having those early 12 souls, he's been able to use his raises strictly for harassing rather than having to use them to accrue the souls and last hit. So no one has been completely shut out of this lane. In fact, not only will he get a regeneration rune on the Shadow Fiend, but he's forced the Queen of Pain back to base.
Oh man, that feels so good if you're 4Clovers right now. Just gonna stay the course and wait for Bambo to get his items up. He's getting a lot of experience on this top lane. Really, there's not much that Mag can do about that. But Mag's doing just fine himself. Doesn't really have to fear Bambo all that much as long as he has Scorched Earth available. And for the most part, he should, crush, right clicks. Really, he doesn't really care that much. He's got enough regen to be fine with that. Bambo's got the power treads, and now it's going to be that long 2,000 gold trek towards that Blink Dagger. But once that happens, 4Clovers should also have some sort of item on Pycat. Should be the mechanism, or Sneakwa is going to get that. So some form of damage item on Pycat. Then it's time to go. Vega are going to need a lot more time to get all their heroes up online unless they get like some random amounts of action going. But Solo walking in, taking 2 raises, not a great start. Dazzle and Winter Wyvern do not gank.
Yeah, and it feels like top lane, despite having solo experience, EGM has done a good job of denying it up from Meg here. Sitting on level 4, and Bambo is almost level 6 on this starter. We talked about
bottom lane dive. Sioma is going to fly away, and it looks like they couldn't quite find Pasha, so never mind. Yeah. Continue.
I mean, we talked about how poor Slardar is as a hero when he's behind, but it doesn't feel like that'll be the case in this one. And interesting skill build mid lane as well. In order to help Solo out, in order to help no one out, Solo has 2 points in that poison touch. So his shallow graves may be, they may be hard to land with the limited range that he's going to have in the next couple of levels.
And Shallow Grave up against the 4Clover side seems like it could be an all-star. Their damage is high, but it's not really super bursty.
Right.
So you have a lot of flexibility. You have a lot of time to just, really get it to the wire when you're talking about those graves. This is definitely a rare build that we're seeing from Solo right now. Most of the time for Dazzle, it's 0 poison touch, or 1 maybe for a little bit of poking harassment, but for the most part 0. And then you just gotta max out that heal, get that grave going, get that to higher levels, increase the range, drastically reduce the cooldown. That's really where it's at. But now Dazzle may or may not be gimped. He has not really helped out the Queen of Pain that much. Now he's sitting on 2 points of a skill that really he doesn't want to have, especially when Nico and Saxa run around from behind. Double Ion Shell, Snowball, not going to be used just yet. They know no one is in the middle, but they're going to Snowball in. Bounty Rune's going to get grabbed, but the raises, not going to be enough. She's going to get away, but now they're going to Shard. No! Solo gets bumped out of it.
Yeah.
Shards are just so weird sometimes, dude. That looked like it should have latched.
I don't feel like that's the target you go on. If you're 4Clovers there, he obviously has the Blink, and the squishier targets in the Dazzle and the Wyvern, probably an easy kill there, but either way, still continuing to try and shut down this Queen of Pain, and at least they deny up some of the regen that she gained from that Bounty Rune, having to already expend 2 charges to return to lane.
Oh, this is looking really good for 4Clovers. They're going to hit their timing pretty much on the dot. Pasha, do you have anything on his courier? Is this anything? Bottle?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's having a rough time down here. He's almost at his level 6, so that is going to, for the most part, there it is, most part nullify that harassment damage that he takes from those ion shells. But Nikwa, he doesn't really have that much to fear from just the Slark. Really, it's these supports, I feel, from Vega that are perhaps a little bit too defensive. Like, we were talking before how this is the first Winter Wyvern game of DreamHack Moscow. They're going to jump in towards Pycat. 2 TP is going to come in, double raise going to be thrown. Only 1 will land. Snowball, however, is going to come through onto no one. Shards will not quite do it. EGM is there with the chain stun. Blink in 4 seconds. No one. Right clicks is going to fall. 1 kill for 4Clovers. Can they find anything else? Pycat has survived, so that in of itself is good enough for 4Clovers. Now they're going to try to find Sioma. Vacuum, it's not leveled from Nikwa, so it looks like that's not going to be cast, but either way, Power lives, and that in of itself is fine for 4Clovers, but
Yeah.
turning around to get another kill, I mean, that's just aces.
They can probably pressure this tower pretty heavily as well mid lane. I mean, sitting on level 8 now for Pycat. He's got 4 levels in that Necro Mastery. Saxa nearby with the Mangle in case he needs a defensive snowball. So I'll put a little bit of damage into it, already less than half HP as no one returns back to lane. And Pycat going to be able to secure himself more than likely this 8-minute rune top lane. Meanwhile, Bambo, completely unattended, has already picked up the treads and 1,300 gold on the way to this Blink Dagger. At this pace, you're talking about a sub-11-minute Blink Dagger on this level 7 already, Slardar.
That's just going to be absolutely terrifying. All the items are coming up for the 4Clover side, and Vega really don't have any heroes that can be assertive. I guess Lark, super poor man's gyrocopter, if you want to say like that. They're going to jump Pycat one more time. Poison Touch is going to be thrown with the Scream of Pain as well. They have a Sonic Wave, will deploy it. Pycat's still alive right now. They'll grave up no one. Crush from Bambo is going to come a little bit too late, however. EGM also going to arrive. Chain Stun onto no one. It's going to be a 1-for-1. They will Doom up Bambo, but he still gets the bash onto Doom, doing so much damage because he already amped him up beforehand. Heal one more time. EGM with the right clicks, not quite enough. To work on that throwing arm. One more will be enough. EGM gonna grab the kill on Doom, making it a 2-for-1 for Vega. 3-for-1. They pick off Slark on the bottom lane. This is not looking like Vega's game, dude.
No, not at all. And I feel like Pasha is nowhere near fight ready with this bottle pickup. I mean, usually I'm not a big fan of the bottle. In general, against a Darkseer as a melee hero, I mean, often we see PLs go for the bottle as well, so it's understandable in this situation, but something like a Drums would solve his regeneration issues for the most part, especially in terms of mana, as he does have the passive. Yeah, they're going to snowball in onto Solo. He's got the level on Grave. It's on cooldown, though. Walrus Punch comes up from Sax. He's level 6 on this Tusk, and this tier 1 tower is in danger as well. But yeah, something like a Drum of Endurance helps him to be fight ready, and this bottle is not going to be able to serve that purpose. So, I mean, the one thing is for Vega, if we look at it historically, is that 4CL tend to crush the lanes in their game, and then they get a little bit sloppy towards the mid game, where Vega seems to be very sound. But at this point, it's almost seeming like an insurmountable lead. I mean, we're talking 6K gold at 10 minutes in.
It's going to be really sloppy. It's going to be really hard for 4Clovers to be sloppy because Saxa is such a high level. Like, this is the hero that's going to be making those saves. He's level 6 on the Tusk, and well, EGM, he's level 6 as well. Only has level 1 booty restoration, so it's not like going to be bailing people out or anything like that. But still, these supports are getting quite a lot for the 4Clover side, and that is not something that we often see from them. We see their cores getting heavy a lot. Pycat is always like almost guaranteed to get a decent time in lane as far as CS is concerned. And Bambo, you know, get his Blink Dagger on a Bat Rider or a Magnus, as we've seen yesterday. And now this game is Slardar. Those are pretty much guarantees for the 4Clover side, but the supports are really hurt by that. But EGM, I mean, he's at super high level. Usually that's not seen in 4Clover games. 4Clovers will have so many defensive tools, including a mech kind of soon for the Darkseer.
Yeah, and speaking of soon, Blink Dagger only 200 gold away. Mid lane, Requiem is going to be thrown out. And it's pretty much a defensively natured Requiem for Pycat there, but it will allow him to back off for now. And they're not really starving for that cooldown. They don't need it too much. They're up 7-1 right now. They can play the farming game until these big items come out, such as the Blink Dagger on Bambo. And with this kill on the Siege Engine, Siege Creep top, he's able to pick it up.
Oh man, Winter Wyvern doesn't even have level 6 yet. Like, the push from 4Clovers is going to be coming very soon at the Blink Dagger, and the Mechanism are up. It looks like they're going to smoke, look for someone, and that someone should be poshed down towards bottom. And this Slark doesn't really have anything else aside from what you see. 800 gold, not bad, but you need so much on Slark to actually be a significant significant hero, and that is really hard to come by through straight up farm. They're going to Blink Crush onto Mag. Snowball's going to come in. Walrus Punch with amplified damage. That in and of itself is devastating. They will take down the Doom. Should regroup up in mid lane with Pycat with the Darkseer, and then this tower should fall. TP's coming in. Oh, yeah, that's a very, very bad idea, no one. Good idea to cancel it. Blinkboard Crush going to land on Sioma right now. He does have an Embrace for himself, so he's not going to die solo to the Slaughter immediately. However, Shards, oh, they need a little more. A little more, guys. Don't leave just yet. There we go. Winter Wyvern going to drop, and Pycat did finish off the tower. Another TP is going to be canceled.
Yeah.
Vega are bleeding heroes. They're bleeding TP gold. They can't afford this.
Generally speaking, I would call that a risky move to go for the Wyvern that deep, but they knew that the TP was canceled towards the mid lane, so no one wouldn't be able to join the fray quick enough, and it was by virtue of that advantage, 4CL are able to take the tier 1 and the kill. They are just playing, knowing their limits very well here. They'll even steal a stack for Pycat, who didn't have any prepared for him in his own jungle, but had such an advantage early on that they traded that for farm on both the Slardar, the Witch
Can
Doctor,
Bambo
and the-
solo kill Solo right now? I mean, I guess I could just say solo kill. I don't have to say it twice, but Solo doesn't have a TP. He doesn't have Grave.
Yeah, he's dead.
It's free food for Slardar. It's a freaking feeding frenzy here for 4 Clovers as they lead 1-10 right now, getting more and more cash. And this is, to some extent, what 4 Clovers draft was supposed to do, but it wasn't supposed to do it until like 15 minutes. They're getting their stride really early because of how well their lanes went. And
Yeah.
I mean, sooner's better than later, right? It means that Vega's Slark has pretty much nothing of power treads. Doom has nothing substantial. Queen of Pain has nothing substantial. Really, all these heroes have nothing but upgraded boots and a handful of, stat items, which is not terrible, but they really need something big to compete up against the Mechanism, the Sange, the Blink Dagger on Slaughter, and these are all going to translate into much bigger items down the line.
Yeah, as 4CL, you group top, you take that last tier 1, and you start to force the more important towers at this point. They cannot fight with the Blink Dagger initiation and the Mechanism on 4CL side. They've got the Sange on Pycat and soon to be an SNY for him. He's more or less unkillable at this point, especially with Soxa behind him, ready with that defensive snowball. And even level 1 Voodoo Restoration from EGM. I mean, there's just sustained damage on Vega's side, and it's almost negligible at this point. They're talking about completely underleveled heroes at every lane. So, I mean, Niqua gonna TP top, join his team, and they have really no hesitations about 5-manning here. They're not losing out trades, as they are going to be taking towers off the map.
Full duration weave might help Vega a little bit, but even that, I mean, that's a skill with so much upside potentially, but even that's not going to be enough. And 4 Clovers, they have all the time in the world right now. They can slow roll this tower, and Vega making a defense may seem attractive, but it's probably not what they want to be doing. They know that if they give up this tower, then their tier 2s are going to be starting to drop, and if not the tier 2s immediately, then it is going to be Roshan. They're going to get in really good position. Pycat going to get Doom. No raises, no Requiem right now. No one's going to jump in. Sonic Wave on only Saxa, however, with the curse there as well. Tusk is not going to die. He gets vexed up, put into the snowball right now. Bambo lands a really nice crush in the background. Wall drops as well, forcing everyone from Vega back. They don't lose anyone for Clovers. Death Ward is going to push them further back as Solo is on the run. Search for Pycat. One more whack. There it is on the Dazzle. Going to grab yet another kill. No one does have a blink, but he's not even going to use it because GG is called. 15 minutes, not even on the clock. No Roshans. Did the tower even fall? No, the tower is still alive, dude. This was an absolute stomp of a game.
This is the 4CL we saw in the group stage. Crush the lanes, completely roll with it, start to 5-man. I mean, Vega hit their whole combo there, more or less. Unfortunately, I'm going to lose my prediction on Saxa saving fights because there were like 3 fights in the whole game, if you want to count 5 on 5.
He didn't have to save anyone because he was just killing people all day.
He saved himself in that last one.
Oh, yeah.
So. Well played to 4CL. Vega, definitely a team that we see with some resolve, some resiliency, but it's going to be hard for them to take it back after such a disheartening loss in game 1.
Being demoralized this hard, like they didn't even get a chance to play Dota. And a side effect